Hey everybody, what's happening? This is Matt Chalery. I'm co-founder of Life Agent Launch. I've got the pleasure of speaking with Jamie Bandos today, who's been on our platform for quite some time. Jamie, thanks for taking a few minutes to hop on the call with me
Sure.
today. Talk a little bit about your experience with the platform. So first thing, Jamie, I'd just like to ask you a little bit is, I mean, how long you been in insurance, man?
I've been in insurance writing for about 4 years at this point.
Okay, awesome. So quite a while. In the past with your experience in the industry, I mean, were you running in the field? Have you been a virtual agent for some time? I mean, I know you're running all virtually now. What did things look like kind of as you get started and as you got started and kind of how that's, sort of look?
Yeah. So I cut my teeth in the field running all over God's green earth. COVID happened and then changed to kind of a virtual platform, Zoom and Google Meets and all that stuff. And as of date, 100% telephonic sales. Haven't opened up a Zoom screen in over 2.5 years.
So all phone sales for about 2.5 years.
All phone sales, targeting Eastern and Central kind of now just for certain purpose.
Cool. And what type of leads? I mean, so obviously leads are the lifeblood of our business, being in the life insurance space. What type of leads were you typically working and running, prior to kind of getting started with us on our platform?
Yeah, so back in the day, right? It was really mortgage protection, mailers, call-ins. At that point, that was kind of the lifeline to it all. And then obviously a huge shift in that, just quality, quantity, cost, as so many other vendors stepped into the space and just started inundating people with
Got it. So costs really just starting to increase and rise. You'd
Mhm.
said, prior to us hopping on the call today, you were typically spending somewhere in the neighborhood of, 3,500, 4 grand a month on leads, prior to coming on the platform.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And talk to me about like, just, working those leads. I mean, what would a typical month look like for you? Working those type of leads and, what was the experience like working the leads that you were running at that time?
Yeah, so I think it really came down to quantity and quality. One quantity was significantly less. I'd be spending somewhere in the range of 750 to 1,000 week and getting anywhere from say 30 to 50 leads depending on that time. As we know, I mean, you can burn through 30 leads an hour when no one's picking up the phone. Now, doing it for a little while, I had the ability just out of experience to be able to turn it a return on investment with that. Um, but as I said, others were stepping into that space, so cost was going up, quality was going down, and then we were just fighting with every other agent out there into certain counties or states or areas we wanted to be. Hands down, and this was the determining factor. I bought my house last year about this time. I got 16 mortgage protection mailers in the
Oh,
first
wow.
30 days.
16 mailers in 30 days. So you probably, you let that led you to thinking, okay, if I'm getting this many mailers, how many other agents are essentially getting this lead when I receive it. So I'm paying, whatever it is for this lead, knowing now you full well knowing that, lots of other agents are probably getting that same lead and you're going to sit there and fight tooth and nail, for that business.
100%.
Got it.
You
Okay.
spend 50, 60, $70 on a lead exclusive to you. And yet, yeah, that one piece of paper may be exclusive. You don't know how many of those families sent back in. It could have been all 16 of them. And then we've all heard it a million times. I took care of that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So
Got
for
it.
me, I could not control. There was factors I could not control.
Got it. So a lot of outside your control, just at the mercy of external factors. Okay.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, let me ask you this. I mean, so I get all that, and I experienced a lot of that when I used to run mortgage protection and final expense mailers myself. Um, as far as your business goes, I mean, at that point in time working those mailers, I mean, what were you typically able to write on, say, an average month off of that, even with all of the fighting tooth and nail with other agents and some of the challenges that you mentioned?
Yeah, I mean, I would still clear 15 to 20 AUV. every month. Just kind of my consistent go-to. It covers the bases and keeps me moving.
Cool. So, I mean, it's not like you were, you know, struggling to the point where you're not eating and not providing for your family. I mean, spending 4 grand on leads, writing 15 to 20. I mean, you're in a position where after your lead spend, you're in a pretty solid spot, doing pretty well. I mean, sounds like, netting in the neighborhood, if you're writing 15K, you're netting in the neighborhood of 10, 11, $12,000 a month. That's a 275 to 300% ROI on the monies that you're on the monies that you're spending on leads. What was it that, it's not like you were in a horrible position. So what was it that really prompted you to look for alternative options? Was it just the fighting tooth and nail, seeing the writing on the wall as far as increasing costs on the mailers? Like what prompted you or motivated you to look for alternative lead sources?
Yeah. I think it was the controlling of it. One is when you're using a lead vendor, like we've all done, one is I can't control the cost. It is always going up, and I can't determine the quality because I don't do the marketing myself. Like it's not there. I can't see it. I have no idea what they're doing. And then the quantity. It's just hoping that something is there. As we kind of began working together over a year ago now, it was cost was increasingly less than what I was spending on mailers. Quantity was double to triple that I was getting in a week's time. And then quality of conversations led me to much better return on investment. I won't say it's like increasing my ability in APV each month, which it has and can. It's allowed me to target much better schedule for myself and what I wanted to accomplish because I'm not chasing people down. In or you out. You're into it, great. Do it. Not on to the next.
Yeah, so
I
awesome.
don't have to.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I was just gonna kind of transition into what life's been like for you since you started working with us, and you touched on that a little bit. So you've been with us, like I said, a little over a year. One of our first agents that we kind of worked with on the platform. It's interesting because, like I said, when we started this, I mean, we had no intentions, Aaron and I, of like ever, really doing a whole lot with other agents. This was just a platform we built for ourselves to generate our own leads for our own purposes. And you came on, and it's really awesome to hear that it's been so beneficial for you. Talk to me. I mean, you just hit on it a little bit. Talk a little bit about, I mean, I pulled all of your numbers from last month or from July as far as your spend goes. I mean, your total premium outlay roughly in the same range. I mean, about $3,500 in total or not, excuse me, not premium outlay, but just money outlay for your leads, your lead cost. But it looks like
Yeah.
almost 310 leads. So like I said, more than double what you would typically get before. Talk a little bit about your experience just working the leads, and then, like you said just a minute ago, how it's impacted your quality of life as far as, maybe being more efficient in terms of, how you work and what that looks like.
Yeah. And I think we gotta understand like people buying patterns and the way that they are being advertised to changed over time. Right? We are all on our phones all day. So why aren't we targeting the advertisement right there so that we are in front and center of everybody that's day in and day out? Also, with the platform, and this was huge, the back end network or the nurturing platform, we're not just dependent on me picking up a phone and making a dial. I needed a system that was working for me when I wasn't working. And so you guys have really been able to hone in on that, whether it's text or email nurturing, allowing for them to self-schedule appointments. It's now targeting that client where they like to communicate, and then I can just jump in. I see a text come in, it's like, great, they like to text. Boom. I will set easily a third of my appointments every week just via text off the system. I think more importantly that, yeah, quantity, quality, cost has allowed me to expand. My income has gone up. My ability to schedule the way I like, working 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. It's hard, holding fast for my family. But now I can target certain demographics, use a lead to actually produce a schedule that's better suited for it, rather than me running mortgage protections at 8 o'clock at night because they
Yeah.
didn't get out of work. Targeting veteran final expense, all retired.
Yeah,
They are all available 9 to 5, Monday through Friday.
that's great.
And
That's really great.
it has really allowed more flexibility as, say, a business owner or an agent, than, customize what I need it to look like at a much higher level.
So it sounds like the benefits have been numerous for you, not only obviously, being more efficient because you have more leads that are higher quality. So you're having more quality, conversations and appointments with people. But it also sounds like just from a quality of life standpoint, it's improved your ability to kind of determine when you work, be there for your family in the capacity that you want to be as a husband and father. And overall just allowing you the flexibility that you want while still being able to actually make more money. Sounds like a kind of a win across the board.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, so like I pulled your numbers again. So just looking at what your spend numbers were in July of this past, month. I mean, yeah, premium or outlay about the same, but I mean, if you said wrote just a little over 20,000, your persistency is really good. I mean, off that same outlay, you're looking at almost a net of 16,500 bucks, which would be a almost 500% ROI based off of that investment into your lead cost. 471 is what I calculated based off the numbers that you gave me. So almost double the ROI that you were doing before. Working probably a little bit less, it sounds like, and having a lot more control over the overall process in flexibility as far as what your schedule looks like. So no, that's
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah, it makes me
I
really
felt so. I know we were talking about this before, but that's my profit or my net on this. But it's also allowed me the opportunity to utilize the abundance of leads for new agents coming in, and maybe they just need a hands up. And as I'm building a business, I can actually hand over the leads that I never got on the phone, never, closed out. Never. I had an agent last week rate 6,000 in AP off of leads coming out of May.
wow. Wow,
That
that's
was
unbelievable.
valuable business, and that's into exactly what my standard of, week to week is. It's not taken away from me. It was just there. I
Do
would
you
not have
think
had
now
that
what do you think
opportunity
contributes to that? I
otherwise.
mean, do you think it's the true exclusive nature of the leads where you know that like these leads are your leads and they're not getting resold all over the place? Or like what would you attribute that success of an agent writing, that type of AP off of leads that are, a handful of months old?
Yeah, and a lot of factors go into that, right? Like it's the agent and their ability,
Yeah, absolutely.
um, the exclusivity of the lead. But yeah, I would say it was the high intent, like when we were calling and utilizing the scripts that you've always passed down here. Like, hey, sorry for our delay. I know you looked back at it. We tried to reach out to you. It just seems like we didn't quite connect. Are you still looking? Yes, great. And the agent was able to just step in. No more wordsmithing or manipulation. It was like, here to help. We missed the boat in May. How can we do it? But out of that, I mean, she was able to pull 4 appointments out of that, net about 6 APV. I would also say is just the target market we're hitting. We're also increased value on what a sale looks like. I went from mailers on mortgage protection at roughly that age old industry tax of $80 per sale, 1,000 APV. My average now is 150 easy on a sale.
Wow. So,
And
your so
once
your
again,
your total APV has gone up per sale, which obviously makes things more efficient. You need less sales to make the same money. Oh, that's great. That's great. Well, Jamie, listen, I really appreciate your taking the time with me today to just talk a little bit about your experience on the platform. I'll tell you, it's very satisfying I know for me and for Aaron, we talk about it to help agents be more successful and really not only help them make more money, but give them back a little bit, maybe more quality of life in terms of, how they're able to be there with their families. I talk to a lot of agents that just, they get burned out, like they're on the road or just constantly on the phone all day, every day. And like it pulls away from, what this is all for in terms of being able to enjoy life with their family and some of that. So it makes me real happy, man, to know that, the platform has been such a help to you and that you've had the success that you've had with it. I guess my last question for you, Jamie, if there was someone out there that was like maybe, you know, looking at wanting to explore different options to increase profitability, and they were looking at, the Life Agent Launch platform as a whole, What would your kind of parting words to that person be, and really, what would you say to them as far as,
Yeah.
based on your experience in working with us?
Yeah. I mean, you guys have been, well, one, I can't enough, obviously, absolutely amazing since we've gone in. And since I've been with y'all for so long, we've seen it through different intervals, and each one has just been able to capitalize even better. Um, yeah, to a new agent, I would say jump all over it. Like get away from whatever you've been using, whatever you've been trying to do, whatever leads that you think you're getting, you don't control. Right here, everything is direct to me. You guys create a landing page that is specific for me. The nurturing system is specific to me. They're coming in real time. I get to control every aspect of it. You talk about being business owners in this. This is what it's like to be a business owner, truly be able to manage that in the way that you need it, not be.
Awesome. 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 Well, listen, Jamie, I generally again appreciate your time today for hopping on the call and sharing your experience with us. Um,
Always, always.
Continued success, man. Keep kicking ass, and sure we'll catch up in a Zoom room again real soon, man. Thanks a lot.